how easy is it to make a living on YouTube, outside of the more lucrative niches like how to make money on YouTube? Well, I have a channel in a hobby niche that hit 100,000 subscribers earlier this year, and I'm going to break down exactly what this channel makes me and how else I make money from that channel. And really, I have two goals for this video. The first is to give you a realistic view of how much YouTubers make, and the second is to get you thinking more intentionally about how you can turn a YouTube channel into a business that supports you. Okay, so let's jump into the first thing I know you want to hear most right at the top, which is how much YouTube paid me. So going by the last 12 months, the channel had 4.2 million views and made $14,655.70. And the first thing I'll say here is that this channel sits at the lower end of the RPM scale with an average of $3.57. And if you don't know, RPM stands for revenue per milli, which basically means how much YouTube pays per 1,000 views. This number will largely come down to the niche you're in, the topics you talk about, and where your viewers are located. So if you are in an industry where advertisers spend a lot of money and your viewers are in countries like the US or UK, you're going to get a higher RPM compared to other industries or locations where advertisers aren't spending as much. For instance, finance channels can see an RPM as high as $15 or even $20, which kind of tempts me into starting a finance channel, but in reality, even for those channels, the smart ones will still be earning much more outside of YouTube ad revenue. And it's the same for me. That $14,000 makes up just 14.3% of my total gross earnings over the last 12 months. And I guess that's the first lesson to take from this, is that if you are trying to make a living on YouTube, you're probably going to struggle to do that with AdSense alone, not to mention it puts you in a pretty risky position if YouTube just suddenly changes the goalposts and AdSense isn't paying as much as it was before, which they have been known to do, and that's just totally going to tank your earnings. And that's why it's important to diversify, so that as each income stream fluctuates, you've got other avenues that can pick up the slack. And this next one just really changed the game for me, which is sponsorships and brand deals. I know some people don't like them, but as we've just seen, AdSense alone is not enough to keep creators afloat as they pump out content. And yes, while they may have started YouTube for the love of it in the beginning, when you don't feel like you're getting the return for the amount of effort you're putting into it, which is a lot, it's hard to stay motivated. And I actually walked away from my channel for 3 years because of this exact reason. Now, there is nuance here, and some creators will promote in ways that I don't agree with. But for me, if you're promoting products from companies you would genuinely recommend and they're relevant to your audience, I think it's perfectly okay. So for me, over the last 12 months, I've done 4 brand deals across 9 videos, and that's netted me $42,000 total, which makes up 41.1% of my earnings over the last 12 months. That's a big increase in my income without having to do much more work, because I still would have made most of those videos anyway. And with numbers like that, I'm sure you can start to see why more and more creators are taking these deals. Now, how much you can get will come down to how many views you're getting, as well as where your viewers are located. So brands will pay anywhere from $15 to $50 per 1,000 views. Some will pay based on the performance of the sponsored video, but so far every brand I've worked with has negotiated a pre-agreed amount that they'll pay at the end of the contract regardless of video performance. When I started getting proposals, many of my recent videos had done hundreds of thousands of views, which put me in a really strong position. But if you're not doing those kind of numbers yet, then naturally you're just not going to get those kind of deals, and they're going to be smaller. But it's definitely something to be thinking about for the future. And if you can start to make videos that hit those big numbers while cultivating an audience that advertisers want to get in front of, it can really pay off. And speaking of paying off, if you are enjoying this video and you feel it's valuable, it would mean the world to me if you would just hit that like button to show YouTube that you are enjoying it so that they can push it out to more people. Thanks so much. Okay, and then my last big income stream is my own digital products. This is a low-cost membership that's aimed at motorcycle track riders who want to ride faster and safer. Track days and racing are a niche but popular hobby in the sports motorcycle world, and this membership gives them the coaching, support, and community to help them enjoy that hobby more. I mostly sell this organically by mentioning it in many of my videos, where I have the option to sign up for a free online training workshop which sells the membership. And this not only sells my product, but it helps me grow my email list too, which is a very valuable asset for any online business. I do have a monthly option, but the majority of members come on the annual plan, which over the course of the last year has netted me $44,112.66. And this makes up 43.1% of my total gross income. Now, even though this is making a similar amount to my brand deals, I would say it's a significantly more important income stream for the majority of creators for many reasons, like more stable cash flow, recurring revenue, the ability to decouple your revenue from your views, and it's the easiest income stream to scale to. In truth, I do think I'm somewhat limited with the product I have because the audience for it just isn't big enough, but while I have been tempted to create different products that target the broader motorcycle space, ultimately I just decided not to do that so I could focus on other projects like this channel, for instance. In any case, the smartest creators are the ones who create and sell their own products, whether that's online programs like mine, but it could also be software, maybe services, or even physical products too, but the margins on those are always going to be much smaller. So that's the majority of my income. And then the last 1.5% comes from various sources like Facebook ad revenue, affiliate commissions, and a small amount of merch sales, which brings the business to a total gross income of $102,313.91. So yes, you can make a decent living on YouTube, but to offer a little harsh truth, for most people, it's just going to take some time to get there. So if you're expecting to post a few videos and be raking in the cash after you hit monetization, that's just not going to happen. The reality is that it takes many months, if not years, of producing content, learning, trying and failing before it clicks. And even when it does click, it might be some time before you're seeing the big numbers to bring in the kind of figures that we just looked at. But even saying that, I would still hugely encourage anyone to take it up and keep at it, because even though I'm not a YouTube millionaire, it has changed my life in so many amazing ways, like how I've grown as a person and the skills I've developed, the massive satisfaction I get from putting the work into the world that others take value from, and how it's given me the time and location freedom to live how I want to with my family. And if you can commit to this for the long haul, knowing that it's going to take time and you just carry on anyway, there's no reason why you can't reach this position as well. But if you do want a bit of help getting there, or at least finding a direction for your specific channel and how to turn that into a business, you can actually book a one-to-one session with me down below where we'll go through exactly that for your specific channel and how you can turn that into a business. And if you are one of those creators who wants their channel to have a positive impact on others while getting that freedom and satisfaction that comes from turning that into something that supports you, in this video here, I break down exactly how you can build a YouTube channel that truly makes an impact while also growing that into a real business. But outside of that, thank you so much for joining me for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.